Joining us now to talk about all this we brought up, Indiana Congressman Marlin Stutzman, back on the program tonight. Marlin, nice to see you again. How you been, sir?
Hey, I'm great, Dan. Great to be with you again this afternoon.
Let's go with the biggest news of the day, in my humble opinion. But mainstream media, of course, wants to stay on Doge and the cuts because it's all they got to try and make Trump and Elon look bad. I want to go with ending a war that has cost the American taxpayer billions of dollars, Marlin. We know for a fact half of those, $200 billion is gone. Even Zelensky says, I never got it. I don't know where it went. And now Trump wants to bring it to an end. Zelensky's pushing back. The mainstream media is acting like he's sucking up to Putin. No. You heard him today with the French president. I'm trying to stop all the beautiful people on both sides from getting killed. Can we stop the war? Your thoughts on Trump's plan to put this to an end in a few weeks?
Yeah, Trump is the negotiator in chief. And, one of the things that we consistently see from President Trump is that he is the best negotiator. He's the best diplomat that the federal government has. And the fact that he is trying to save lives, he's trying to bring peace to the world. And the fact that he's also looking out for America in all of this with the mineral rights deal that he's trying to negotiate, and hopefully that we can get some of the money that the previous administration spent in that part of the world supporting Ukraine, and that we get mineral rights out of this. It's the most genius thing I've seen in any president in a long time that has negotiated something that the American people actually get something back out of it for putting our treasure and putting our equipment. And, thankfully we didn't put any men and women in uniform out of the military in that part of the world. But it doesn't matter. We still need to make sure that this is good for the American people and that it stops the fighting in that part of the world and brings peace.
Yeah, we almost did, though. You think about it. Under the Biden-Harris regime, man, it was,
yes.
We won't send rockets, we sent them. We won't send tanks, we sent them. We won't send choppers and jets, we sent them. And then it was, we won't send troops. We had special forces there training their troops, but not engaging in combat. I mean, we were on the cusp. God help us. Thank God the American people stood up to Harris and didn't put her in. Otherwise, we would be at war with Russia in Ukraine. All right, let's move over to the cuts. They're having a meltdown about that email, Marlin. I recall where you and I met in Northeast Indiana when I worked for a little company called Nexstar. People know them. They're pretty big. They own News Nation. They own the Fox affiliate I worked at in Fort Wayne where you and I met. And I remember weekly, I had to send an email to corporate Nexstar telling everyone what I did that week as a news director because I ran that newsroom. And if I didn't, on Monday, I got a nasty email from middle management going, where's your damn email? Yes. What's wrong with your boss saying, send me an email or else your ass is canned?
And under these circumstances, Dan, this is crazy because the email is just simply, are you even doing anything? Are you alive on the other end? Are you working? Are you still here? You know what? It doesn't matter if that email came from Elon. It should have come from somebody. And that's what I would expect that anybody, any of the cabinet members, anybody who's now coming in and helping with the administration is going to be asking questions like that. That should be the first question. Are you still there? If you're not going to answer this email, just know that you're not no longer on the payroll. It's just common sense. And so the fact that the left is getting all uptight about this is just simply ridiculous because the email came from Elon, it needed to come from somebody, and I'm glad that he sent it.
Well, and Trump thought it was pretty damn funny that people lost their minds over that email because look at this. He posted this yesterday on Truth Social. I just had to laugh. I mean, if you can't laugh at this, this is your president, folks. President Trump posted this yesterday on Truth Social about this list. Again, he just wanted these employees to send 5 things. Got done last week, cried about Trump, cried about Elon, made it into the office for once, read some emails, cried about Trump.
It's so bad. I mean, we're laughing about it, but the fact is that it's true. And, I was home this last week and I heard from Hoosiers all across Northeast Indiana that love what Trump and what Elon are doing. And they're so fed up with the way Washington has been working. We all know it's happening. And now somebody's actually doing something about it.
Yeah. Yep. We had a little tweet there that's fine if we don't read that one, but Trump just said he wants Elon to get more aggressive. Like he doesn't think it's happening fast enough. He wants more cuts. I mean, look, over at USAID, right? They had over almost 3,000 employees. They've already cut over 2. They're going to get that one down to about 334 positions, I read, because nobody was in the office. Nobody was doing anything. Not to mention, a bunch of the damn money coming in wasn't even helping foreign nations. It was coming right back into leftist organizations in this country, like Politico and elsewhere. So I'm loving that the cuts are coming. I love that he wants it to be more aggressive. And I love that the left and the mainstream media, Marlon, don't know how to handle this. I mean, how do you not want this? This is cutting the budget, trying to get the deficit down, and maybe even return some money to the American taxpayer, all the while asking these agencies to give a report card. Show us what you're doing for the American people, or your butts are fired.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what, Dan, what I found really interesting last week as I'm talking to constituents, we're talking about the $5,000 rebate check that could potentially be sent back to Americans and to taxpayers. I only had one person that said, send it back. Everybody else said, you know what, put it towards the national debt. Let's get this debt paid off so that way we know that the country's going to be strong for generations to come. And I think that's the type of Americans that I represent, is that they're looking out for the long term of America. They're not looking for a quick rebate check. They want to actually see this debt pay down. And that's what we've heard over and over. Everybody, in fact, even the Democrats are saying, oh yeah, we know there's waste, fraud, and abuse. But when somebody actually does something about it, it's like, oh, well, that's harsh. That's mean. We're being mean here. Again, I was talking about this with my brother, who's our CEO in our family business. There's not a really good way to let people go. It's not fun.
Nope,
it's awkward.
It's not nice.
But you know what? You got to do it, or else you're going to kill the golden goose.
Yep. And this is different than the private sector, like your private family business. This is the government that is supposed to be run by we the people, and we just send you elected officials to do our bidding. And so I don't care personally if it's harsh, because this isn't a private entity. You're supposed to be serving us. And if you're not serving us, then why do we even have your position? Marlon Stutzman, representing the 3rd District over there in the Hoosier State, where you've got common sense Americans living. Thank you, Marlon.
Amen. You bet. Thanks, Dan.
Take care. Yep.